friends, welcome back to a new video. To anyone who's been feeling lately lack of energy, lack of motivation, lack of inspiration, lack of clarity, purpose and meaning, or who've been dwelling into negative thinking or feeling the collective pressure in the environment that is deeply present right now as so much is going on in the world, I've created this very special video for you that will help you to navigate yourself through this time with purpose, clarity, and inner knowing. So I want to give you few reminders that will help you to get yourself back on track. Anna Taylor once said, "Love yourself enough to set boundaries." You get to choose how you use your time and energy, and at the same time, you teach people how to treat you by deciding what you will and won't accept. And this is so important because people are coming to you, hey, will you take care of this? Will you take care of this? Will you do that? Will you do that? Will you go with me there? And will you go with me there partying and hanging? And you have to say no if you're valuing your time, if you're valuing your clarity, if you're valuing your dedication to purpose. Sometimes you have to say no. A great philosopher, Nietzsche, had these 3 evolutionary phases of each human being. He said on the first phase, people are like camels. They're just carrying weights of others around. Like since you've been born, people have been projected onto your beliefs, ideas of religion, beliefs of religion, all kinds of different things, what you should do, what you have to do, who you need to be, who you have to be, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, all kinds of weights you're carrying around. And only once you decide that it's enough, like, I don't want to carry these weights that don't have any meaning for me around anymore, you evolve into the second phase that Nietzsche described as the phase of a Leo. Leo is a phase of each human being where you recognize, well, I don't want to carry this around. I want to get deeper into what I want to do. And you start breaking patterns. You start breaking belief systems. You start questioning everything. You start questioning what your parents told you, what society told you, what you've been told from the culture, from the media, from mainstream media, from governments, everything you've heard, you start questioning all of that and you slowly start breaking free from these social structures and belief systems. So you would get deeper into what's real for you, what's true for you and what you want to do. And that's where you become more aware of your inner voice. That's the moment when people realize, well, I actually want to do this. I want to follow this journey. I want to follow my dreams. I want to discover what else is possible for me. If I invest more time into my talents, building skills, sharpening my gifts, organizing my time, setting boundaries, I can do something great here. I've been designed to do something great here. And this is the time or the moment when people start evolving into a new human being. Nietzsche called that third phase as a phase of a child, where you become more innocent, you become more playful, you become more creative. Not many people are on this level right now, but it's something we're aiming towards, like becoming back original, becoming back authentic, becoming back creative, playful, innocent. Noticing life is a game, life is a play. And there are we are living in a society where there's many injustice happening, many hard things, heavy things are happening. But I've noticed in my life, well, through our acts of playfulness and creativity, we can actually bring very meaningful things and projects to society that can inspire society to look up for something greater that's within them. And It's an act of playfulness. It's an act of creativity. It's an act of looking within and asking yourself once again what you came here to do, what you always wanted to do. It's within you. But most people then get too distracted, like, as a great saying goes, life is what happens between social media scrolls and your self-doubt, right? People are constantly distracting themselves with social media and everything that's happening in the world. And because of that, their mind gets filled with poison that triggers a lot of self-doubt, and then they don't do anything, right? And that may be you. It was me in the past, and I've noticed, well, my life is so much more valuable than me wasting it with, social media and scrolling, mindless scrolling, and caring too much what other people are doing or thinking or saying. So I've limited my time on social media. I've actually done a lot of social media detox, and so many times I just go off the grid, and I've made a video about it, and I've noticed, well, I just feel so much better. I actually get in contact with myself when I turn off my phone, when I go outside, when I'm present in our community, when, I connect with simplicity. And to me, simplicity says, look around you and see how nature functions completely well without any technology. And I'm not against technology. I love that. I'm using it every single day for, sharing content with you. But I've noticed I don't need that to be happy. I don't need that to be inspired. I can look around me and I can find something I couldn't see yesterday. Or I can find something that will teach me more about myself. Like the resilience of a tree. Sometimes I'm curious, like, how deep roots of a tree need to be so the branches can, stretch into the air. And I notice, well, if we want to grow externally, we firstly need to grow internally. There is no great external work if the inner work is small. And there will be no small external work if the inner work is great. This is a great saying of a great mystic. And I want to remind you, more frequently, detox from social media, and you will feel so much better. Actually connect with real people. Get in touch with your local community. Find community where you have something in common and actually exchange your hobbies and insights. You will notice that this is the real world. The real world is, outside the screens, isn't it? And the real connection is more valuable than anything. And then, if you pay attention to the words you speak, you learn that your words are spells. Your body is following your language, right? The way you speak, the words you use, words are spells. One saying goes, one kind word can change someone's entire day, right? Another one says, words are seeds that do more than blow around. They land in our hearts and not the ground. Be careful what you plant and careful what you say. You might have to eat what you've planted one day. So think about it for a moment. Because what you've been saying yesterday, you may be feeling today. What you've been saying 1 year ago, you may be living today. So make sure that what you're saying today is meaningful, purposeful, and maybe even inspiring. Because if no one else, you can be inspired by your own language. You can actually look into your future and think about what's possible and speak it into existence. Yeah, you can do it, my friend. You can do it. So you need to keep reminding yourself, hey, I need to check how I'm talking. I need to check What words am I using? Because sometimes you can harm someone just because you speak unconsciously, right, out of a habit. So many people have been programmed to complain and to judge one another, and then they're wondering why they are so lonely. Well, because no one wants to spend time with someone who's constantly complaining and judging. It doesn't need to be a social game like who's better than someone else, or whom I can pull down today, whom I can destroy today. Think about whom you could build today. Think about who is maybe looking up to you, seeing you as someone, being an example. Who's seeing you today as someone that's kind, as someone that's they want to learn from. Eyes are watching you. If you're an example of maybe your highest morality or something you just you feel inspired to become, by being an example of it, you may just become it. Isn't it so? So, of course, I've noticed, it's hard to be in our peak state if our body is not healthy. If we're tired, if we're exhausted from, people say, I'm exhausted from life, but then you ask them, what's your diet? How are your sleeping cycles? Are you sleeping 8 hours each day? How is your mental health? How is your emotional health? And they say, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's why you feel like that. You don't even know what you're doing. So I'm constantly reminding you, and I'm a work in progress here as well, but I've noticed, if I take care of nutritious diet, if I'm sleeping well, like I make sure I need to sleep 8 hours a day because I'm thinking a lot through the day. And it exhausts your brain, and brain is actually rejuvenating. It's going through a process of renewal in a REM sleep, in a sleep when we're dreaming. And I've noticed if I have a before bed routine, like 1 hour before I go to sleep, I shut off my phone, I go off the screens, I do some meditation, some movement, some stretching, and then I go to sleep and I have more REM sleep. I've noticed I sleep so much better, and then the next day I'm very rejuvenated and creative. I've actually changed my diet a lot in the past. I've started drinking more spring water. And I've started eating more avocados, more greens, more superfoods. They're good for the brain. Roots, more oats, berries. They're also good for the brain. They're like a brain food. I've started drinking more herb tea. I love mint tea, my favorite one. I love walnuts, turmeric. And I've started, implementing all these great superfoods into my diet, and I've started noticing, in 1 month you don't see much difference, but in 1 year you become a different person. Like my skin changed, my eyes, I've started feeling better, and I've noticed how much the food truly builds your body. And then your energy changes. You start to feel more energized, and you notice, as much as it's all mental and emotional, diet has a lot to do with how we feel, right? So this is a common sense, but it's far from common in the society, right? So we need to bring back this common sense. As science says, the water clears exit toxins from your system and boosts your metabolism. Being hydrated can change so much. Just the simple act of drinking enough water on a daily basis can have a profound effect on your life. And one great hack that I've learned is to put some sea salt into water, especially in the morning. Put some electrolytes in the morning into the water for hydration. This is very, very beautiful. It actually changed my mother's life. She had a hard time sleeping. Her sleeping was very, very bad, and nothing helped her. And then she started putting some sea salt into water, and she started sleeping better, and her blood actually improved so much. And it was such a simple hack. So notice that you can do so much to improve your life with these simple hacks and nudges that we notice improvement. But with all of this, when we have more energy, we suddenly notice I become more creative when I'm rested, when I'm rejuvenated. And when I'm more creative, I also become more playful. I get into this state of a child. I recognize I'm here to create. I want to evolve in my creative abilities. And sure, your thing is maybe something else. Maybe you're more logical. Maybe you're more practical. Maybe you're more analytical. And you recognize with more energy, you can study more, you can organize more, you can manage your time better, and all of that. So why wouldn't you start right now and remind yourself each day is a new lifetime, right? So why wouldn't I start a new life right now? I could, you could, right? And then we need to remind ourselves of intentional acts. Intentional acts. Because when your mind falls into negative patterns, you could just calm yourself down, do a reset. Like sometimes I do power naps. Sometimes I just sit down and observe nature for 5 to 10 minutes to make a reset. Like if a lot was going on in my life, I just need to press a reset button. Because most of the time, if you pay attention to what you're thinking about of everything that happened today and yesterday and the day before. What if you would do a reset right now and you would just pay attention to this moment? Not who you were, not what you were doing, but just this moment. And recognize that from this moment on, you can start anew. You can, start freshly doing something new or doing things differently or doing things more intentionally. To remind yourself, what's your intention right now? Because people who are struggling in life are also struggling because they're not intentional with anything. And people who are striving because they're intentional. They know why they're doing something. They know what kind of energy they want to put into something. They know how they want to evolve. They have some visions and goals. And you can get there through intentional acts. When you get into a conversation, what do you want to bring out of this? Like how you want to help that person. What energy you want to bring there. When you go at your job, what's your intention? Like what you want to experience there today. And what kind of energy you're bringing there. How you want to help this job, this company to grow because they have you. So you bring there something that's yours, something that comes from you. Maybe you've downloaded it. Like today, I will bring some playfulness to my work. Today, I will bring some playfulness to community. Today, I will bring some joy to this. And then people say, yeah, I bring that. And then people rob me of that. Well, those who are very firm in what they believe, nothing can move them. So it's a challenge for you. Well, of course, if on a long run your contribution is not valued, not seen, well, change your job. Set an intention. I want to find a job where people will value my time, my contribution, my energy. And be surprised because, well, maybe a new job can just find you. Like when you have something to look up for, when you have something to aim towards, well, you start opening new doors in your mind's eye and your body follows your mind, right? The universe is listening to you and the universe is always asking you, think bigger and you will become bigger, right? So I'm only asking you, maybe stop gossiping more, disconnect from social media chaos and all this collective movement of pressure and conflict, because there's a beautiful evolution that is happening in this guys right now, and most people don't see it, but many of you are feeling it right now. So practice clarity. Take a step back, clear your mind, refresh your perspective. Clarity is an alignment with what is the most important to you, and through that practice of clarity you will find ideas how to get where you want to be. Don't allow anything to poison you so you can't see anymore where you've intended to go. Because deep inside we all have this sense of a dream, like this is into whom I want to evolve. Because deep inside we have this inner child that says to us, I want to become this, I was born for this. Maybe it is not using words, or maybe you could say it's my higher self, not using words, but a sense of demand, like I must do this. I must move away from these people because they're toxic for me, because they're destructive for me. I've witnessed enough of that I've noticed, well, certain people are destructive for us and certain people are toxic for us. But then I've also witnessed that when I've started valuing myself more and loving myself more, I've started meeting people who are not just respecting me, but also seeing me for who I am. All respect comes from self-respect. All love comes from self-love. All kindness comes from self-kindness. And all passion comes from living passionately. Finding things you love to do. Finding things you love to do until now. And just give more time to them. And that's where passion will grow, right? So learn to manage your stress. Learn to get enough of good quality sleep. Learn to practice mindfulness daily. Find a balance between doing and being, between work and life, between practicality and playfulness. Move your body a lot, because sometimes when you can't shift your mind, as in behavioral psychology they say, shift your body, shift your biology, and your mind will get renewed. Sometimes when I feel overwhelmed by overthinking, I go for a run. I come back and I feel like a fresh new person. So I've started doing strength workouts as soon as I wake up, because I've noticed that my brain just refreshed. My brain just gets like, I just experience an incredible clarity after this kind of a workout. So I love moving the body. And I want to encourage you to find a practice that resonates with you, that puts you into a state of clarity. And maintain a healthy, nutritious diet. And when you don't know what to do, ask for help. You're not alone on this planet. You're not alone on this planet. Some people will come to you like angels. Some people will come to you to open your eyes, and some people will come to you to open your heart. And you need to see people for who they are. You need to notice them for who they are. Some people whom you would describe as toxic people, well, those are people who open your eyes to see, well, I deserve better. I deserve more. I deserve deeper relationships. So you can say no to them and goodbye. Like, thank you, I'm wishing you well, and goodbye. And move on. My friends, I hope you found great value in today's video. Let me know what resonates the most with you. And thanks to everyone for supporting our mission with buying my art on our store, AttractPassion.com, where you can find my paintings. Let me know what you see in today's one, what you see in today's painting, how it inspired you, or what's the energy you receive with it. I love reading this kind of comments. I'm constantly reading them. I'm seeing you. So thank you for your feedback. You can also find my work on our Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. Check it out. And to any one of you who would love to work with me one-on-one, I'm also coaching people. I'm offering coaching one-on-one. So we still have some available spots. You can find the link in the description of this video. And thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community, where you're also supporting this mission so we can keep up inspiring people every single day. Thank you so much for your contribution. With that, you're contributing to this big purpose that we're living right here, right now. You're a part of this, my friend. Thank you so much, and till next time, one love.